Good morning, everybody. We are at Mid-Ohio for round 2 of GLGT with GridLife. I think it's their 3rd or 4th event of the year, but for GLGT, wheel to wheel, it's our 2nd weekend. As you can see, quite overcast. Just got done raining. Actually, it's still drizzling a little bit. And right now, the cars going around are the TC guys. I was watching them go around. It's pretty wet out there, but they're kind of drying it off. Then Rush is going. It's like one of those drizzles where it's like, should I just leave like I'll call them the dry tires, even though they're treaded. They do have CMP and Midwest on them, so they're getting a little worn, but they still got grooves. I do have brand new, oh crap, what are my wet tires? I think Continental H2Os or something. Future me will put it down here. So I'm kind of digging them out of the trailer in case I got to make a change. It looks like we're on the tail end of it, so I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it where I am. It's only practice. It's not like we're heading into the race or anything. Kind of where we're at right now. Let's see. Turnout, saw a few new cars already walking through the paddock. So yeah, we'll see what GLGT gets us. Weather's going to be a curveball all weekend, so yeah, let's see what we can do. Alright guys, so I went out. The track was obviously wet, but the rain did stop. There was a tiny hint of a dry line through like maybe 2. That was really about it. Maybe through 1 a little bit towards the very end of the session, but nothing anyway. So anyways, I think 7 of us went out. I was 2nd, but I can't really read into that too much. Who knows what other people were on tire wise. I was on my dry setup, you know. I did not do tires. I didn't like change anything just for a practice session, just kind of went out. Let's see, we're out for qualifying, and now what I'm trying to wrestle with, I have a set of brand new RT 660 pluses in the trailer. These RT 660 pluses were on for CMP and Midwest Fest. I did rotate them front to back before this event. The wear pattern is pretty good across them. Being a street tire, I'm not familiar enough with these tires yet. Where is it worth putting a new set on, or do they just kind of maintain speed till, you know, till they quarter? They're just slicks. That I don't know. But the next session is qualifying, so I'm going to try and, I don't know, see if I can figure out something. I'll go talk to the fast guys, see what they do. But yeah, qualifying, looks like we're going to be dry for that. We'll see what we do there. Good morning, everybody. Saturday morning, and as you can see, the rain is back. Yesterday qualifying was in the dry. Qualifying, I qualified third. Pretty happy with that. The few tweaks I made on the car between Midwest Fest and here, finally being able to get the car in the dry felt good. I did put the new 660 pluses on, so I'm not sure how much of that was like a tire change versus like other stuff. It's always nice if you can kind of do like back to back. Like if yesterday's practice was dry on the old tires than new tires, but you know, sometimes weather doesn't cooperate, and as you can see right now, it's drizzling pretty good, enough to where the track is wet, which brings me right back to where I was yesterday. We're out on track in like an hour. It's looking like the little storm cell is going to pass, and I did find out that Houghton yesterday was on the wet tires, so he was like 5 seconds clear of us. I was second in practice in the wet, but it's one of those, you know, I got to figure out. He was saying, you know, the wet tires, I'm kind of used to like going from like Hoosiers to like a full tread where you need like standing water to make it worth it. He was kind of leaning towards like if the track's wet, just throw the wet tires on. Who knows? So I'm gonna watch the radar, maybe make a call in about a half hour. It looks like it's gonna pass. It's a race, so it's gonna be like 20 minutes. You know, if it starts drying out, how many cars are gonna run between, you know, now and when we're on track, when the rain stops. So yeah, a few other little odds and ends. Oh, I did look at data. I found a few spots where my fast lap in qualifying, I can definitely pick up some time, see if I can kind of hang with the front two guys a little bit. But other than that, yeah, we're about ready. See what we can do in race one. All right, guys, so race 1 in the books. Got another 3rd place. The cool thing is getting some clean laps. I went from a 33.5 in qualifying yesterday all the way down to a 32.1. So that was a 1.4 second improvement. No real changes in the car, just kind of looking over data, driving, stuff like that. The other cool thing is my gap to the front runners, best lap to best lap, I was like 6/10 behind. Where at Gingerman last race, it was like 2.5 seconds or something like that. So lets me know I'm headed in the right direction. Car felt good enough. It's like I'm just going to do gas, look it over. I really don't think it's worth changing anything. Yeah, I'll think about it, but you know, pretty much just gonna, you know, get ready to go for the next race. Other thing is, after that race, I had to go to the dyno. Top 3 of us got dynoed. Rode across scales, 3,080, dynoed at 322. Now, if you watch my video from CMP, I dynoed at 340, so almost 20 horsepower less. It is much warmer, could be an elevation thing, but doing the math, I am like 250 pounds heavy, but I'm on a 305, so I can only be 3,000 at a minimum. The math works out where I could be like 2,900 pounds even, maybe even a little bit less with the modifiers, you know, I get with this setup with the no ABS and manual trans, stuff like that. So anyways, to be, you know, within 6/10, best lap to best lap, all things considered, you know, I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, so we're gonna get ready for next race. right, guys, another third place. I got my pit crew here helping me today. You want to wave? Wave. Say hi.
Say hi.
I think you're in it. Say hi. Okay, she found a pen she took apart. Let's see. Where do I want to start? So that race was pretty fun. I had a sniff at second place and actually had it there for I think a few turns tops, and then misshift down the back straight, and then Aaron got me back into turn 4 and then just kind of finished up behind him. Another 32.2. I think Aaron was a 31.8. James was a 31.5 again. So yeah, it's like I'm not terribly far off, but you know, still need to find a little bit more. Let's see. In the high-speed stuff, the car feels pretty good. The high speed, I'll say, is turn 1 and I believe 11. The slower speed stuff, I think the car still has a bit of a push. So I might, I got a couple options of stuff I can change. I'm going to think about it a second. But yeah, again, another third. You know, pretty happy with that, all things considered. Kind of get the car, go over everything, get ready for tomorrow. We got 2 races tomorrow. Are you helping me clean? Okay. We got you know, the last 2 races tomorrow. See how they shake out. Go over data tonight. See what we can get tomorrow. All right, guys, so that was race 3. As you can see, I finished 4th behind the GT4 BMW. And I don't quite know how to feel about it because he is on illegal tires. Now, granted, what was it? He's scheduled to have tires shipped here, but the guys who do tires at GridLife for whatever reason didn't show up, so he didn't get his tires, so he's kind of running what he had. So yeah, one part of me is like, you know, if that happened to me, I would still want to race. Like, he's otherwise, I think, legal. So it kind of sucks because the track was fast this morning. James and Aaron went faster. I did not because I was stuck behind him. The car felt pretty good otherwise though, so I don't think I'm gonna make too many changes. The plus side is the invert is roll to 4, so that means I'm starting on pole, but the BMW is right next to me. So hopefully I can hold them off and kind of like run away a little bit. It's kind of my hope. And then James and Aaron, you know, they'll be right on me soon enough. So yeah, we'll see what this race has to bring. I think that's about it. All right, guys, I blew it. Starting on pole, as you saw in the video, missed fourth. I think I was last going into turn, well, technically four. Fought my way back up to fourth. So like I was saying, the one car on illegal tires was not taking points, so I'm solidly in third. You know what? I honestly don't know how Aaron and James shook out, but I'm sure they had a pretty good battle. Plus note, I did a 31.7, so best lap all weekend in this heat too. So the car's running pretty good. Got a list of stuff to do before Lime Rock. Definitely fluid in the trans. Make sure all the bushings are greased or good or whatever. Yeah, because I messed up fourth a couple times this weekend, which kind of stinks. And that was probably the worst place it could have happened at the start of that race. So, but anyways, all things considered, third overall again. And my 31.7, Aaron only did a 31.8 only. I mean, he has gone faster, but did a 31.8. So it's like, man, if I held in there at the start, would have been cool to see how that shook out, but maybe next time. So I think that's where I'm gonna wrap this one up. So as always, guys, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.